MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision as we continue our At Home with the Saints series, as we give you a chance to catch up with some of our great coaches and what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, since we're all working remotely and we're not around campus right now. And joining us is our head men's soccer coach, David Korn. And David, how's everything going? How's the family doing? And how's your new part-time job of being a teacher going for you right now?
Well, it's great to be here. Thanks, Jim. And I am grateful for our tax dollars and think we should support our teachers even more after this period. So it's been fun. Thankfully, we've been healthy. Our kids have been healthy. It's been fun, to spend more time together as a family, which during this time of year we would be, potentially having just finished our training and games, and that can, sometimes take a toll on the amount of time I get to spend as a dad or a husband. So it's been a rewarding period, even though I certainly miss being around our student athletes.
And it's got to be a little bit of culture shock for you to have to teach the kids, math and science and that kind of stuff. But I know you've been doing some creative things with that.
That's right. My wife always tells me, in the fall when I'm gone all the time, we've got games and traveling, how hard it is to be home. So I'm getting a little bit of a taste of that. I get to teach kindergarten, second grade, and seventh grade. Our seventh grader, her math and science is probably too advanced for me. So I try to hang more in the kindergartner and second grade realm. So.
No doubt about it. One of the things, and you guys have done a really cool thing with the team. You've been keeping close contact with all the guys, especially, on the soccer front. Everybody's kind of spread out, not just in the Midwest, they're spread out all over the world, so to say. But, how are you and your staff keeping in touch with everybody? Making sure they know that you guys are there for them in case they need something or they're kind of struggling with something?
Well, obviously we've had the opportunity to, during this period when we've been in school to be permitted with the NCAA to be in contact through a variety of forms. So, that could be something as simple as a phone call or a text message, but even something like this where, we can use Zoom or a video kind of conference. So, we've done things like meeting together as a team each week. We've tried to be creative with that. We've done some workouts with our strength coach, Jake Fitz, to keep the guys engaged, because we with some, physical things to be working on in addition to some other areas to improve outside of what they're doing with their classes. But we've tried as a staff, I think, to make sure that we're connected with our players weekly, whether that's academic updates or that's just socially, just to see how they're doing. Some have moved back home, some have stayed in an apartment, some have left the country. So we want to make sure, number one, that they're just doing well. And then try to understand what their current situation is. So if we send a workout out and one of our student athletes has a home gym in his basement, he might be able to do it all. For another one, he might have, one of our guys is playing soccer with a basketball. So, you just try to figure out what resources they have and, just to support them as people, in addition to being student athletes.
And one of the things too, and this is where, we're very fortunate at Maryville with our leadership, starting with Dr. Lombardi. I honestly believe that we as a university were more prepared than a lot of other universities to have to go to a virtual environment, whether it's the students, learning from home and doing their studies.
Yeah.
Us working remotely as staff and, coaches. I think it starts from the top, and we've been really prepared to be able to handle this in such a successful way that we are.
Yeah, obviously I only know what we hear from some of our colleagues, and I think the fact that, our student athletes typically have, and students just in general, maybe one or two online classes already each semester, to have that change where now 3 or 4 classes are online. At least they're used to the format. I'm sure it's additional work for our, professors to create the curriculum and the content, as well as just additional work for everybody across campus. But I do think you're right. I think we certainly are such a technology savvy institution that it made our job easier. We can auto email updates to our players every week. We can Zoom workouts with 30 people in different countries and time zones. We can have the opportunity to connect. We're using like a just a social platform where we can upload videos, and we've been doing, certain video topics from the fall as we review our attacking ideas, our defending ideas, and just our overall game model. So it's allowed us to, I think, stay connected and hopefully just mentally keep them engaged, and just continue our developments, even if now we focus just on a little bit different piece than we would if we were on campus.
The other thing too that's come up, and I see a lot of it on social media, is coaches really collaborating during this. I know in my world, as an SID, I'm getting a chance to talk to a lot of friends and colleagues from around the country a lot more now, and like collaborate on ideas and content and different things. And I know a lot of the coaches have been doing a lot of the same things right now during this period.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is certainly a time with it being a little bit slower. If you're to look at professional development opportunities, if you're to try to figure out how to best utilize this time, I mean, we've spoke to other coaches to find out they've got some really cool ideas of things that they're doing. One of the best ideas I got was from a colleague of mine who also coaches the Division II level, but had been at the Division III level for a long time. And he said, "Listen, we used to never get contact with our student athletes in the spring, which for us is a fall sport. That's our, non-competitive period, but you're still doing a lot." So it's like, when we couldn't talk to our athletes, when we didn't see them on campus because of Division III restrictions, here's some different things we did. And to be honest, we took a couple ideas from that and said, man, I think we can really, utilize that. And to be honest, when we had our player meetings, we asked the guys, what did you really enjoy about this period? Some of those things we implemented because of those conversations were the first things that came up.
That's awesome, and I think that's kind of how everybody's been approaching it, during this time. So now, okay, here's the question we're asking everybody, because I know on a lot of my calls with a lot of my friends and colleagues, we're all talking about what we're binge watching on Netflix or different shows. What is the Korn family binge watching right now on Netflix or Hulu?
Well, it depends on which account you sign into. I think the kids are binge watching Liv and Maddie or something like that. My wife pulls me into every version of The Bachelor, including whatever this Bachelor musician and some Netflix version of Married Behind Pods. I don't even know the name of it. But I would say I've enjoyed watching the Michael Jordan Last Dance series, and before that, there's a couple good soccer ones called Inside City, and similar through Amazon Prime. But I know our players, they love All American. They all love Tiger King. So we've been trying to send them some, maybe more sport and personality and development related ones. So we've tried to toss them a couple titles like Rudy and things like that. So.
Awesome. Well, David, I appreciate the time. I know this is a little bit of a break for you away from the teaching duties at home, but we appreciate it. We can't wait to see you back on campus here in the near future. Take care of yourself. Take care of the family, buddy.
Hey, thanks so much from the Teachers Lounge. I'm excited to be here. So see ya.
No doubt. The head coach, David Korn, from our men's soccer team joins us, and we're going to be doing these all throughout the month of May, checking in with our coaches, see how everybody's doing, and getting ready for hopefully when we get back on campus to hit the ground running for next school year. For Coach, I'm Jim Powers. Thanks so much for tuning in to MaryvilleSaints.com and Saints Vision. Have a great week, and as always, go Saints.